Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to give my commentary on Mrs. Nell Fletcher's interview with Dustin Ross following the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And so I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy discussing the various topics surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. Oh my gosh. So I guess it doesn't matter how many times Martell disrespects Nell, she is going to always find an excuse for him, okay? It is very annoying. And I feel like she is like the opposite of empowerment. You know, you think about women who, when they speak, you feel inspired. You know, if they're talking about health and fitness, you put on your sweats and you go work out. You know, I was listening to Queen Sheba this morning before I headed out, and she was asking about, you know, are you from the time where you got up early on Saturday and cleaned, or do you do that on Sunday? And you know, I like got some recyclables together that I can sit out tomorrow evening, and I cleaned the bathroom. That's the type of influence that Queen Sheba has. I feel like Nell Fletcher, she does the opposite. It's her conversation, her mindset, her ideas are not empowering or inspirational. They're just kind of like, oh my gosh. Like when she talks about her family dynamic, she has a lot to say about Lexi and her mom. It will totally make you say, oh, so glad I don't have kids. Oh my gosh. Like she really kind of puts a downer on things. But I'm gonna break it all down. So before we get into what she was saying about Martell, I do want to give her commentary regarding Lexi's and Lexi mom. You know, Nell seems to really think that Lexi's mom, Cornelia, is at the root of the discord between her and Chris Fletcher and Lexi, as well as Lexi and her siblings. You know, she even described that Lexi has step siblings with both of her parents. Cornelia has kids with her husband, whom she's been married to for 15 years. And then, of course, she has her siblings between Chris and Nell. And she said that she feels like Lexi is kind of like caught in the middle. She said that Lexi thinks clearly when it's just like the two of them talking, but as soon as her mom comes around, she made it seem like you get a totally different Lexi. So there could be some pressure there to go along with what the mom says. But she said that Lexi has confided about, you know, basically feeling more relaxed when she's around her Fletcher family. You know, but I think when the mom is around, Lexi may not want to express how she truly feels. But let's go ahead and get into it. So in this first soundbite, Nell talks about her not getting married simply because she was pregnant with a kid, which I believe would have been Chris Jr., because we know that Chris and Nell, when they got together, they each had a child. Chris Fletcher had Lexi with his then wife, Cornelia, and Nell had Lance. They are 6 months apart. This month, Lance turns 33. Lexi will be 33 in December. And Chris and Nell this year will be married 30 years. So we're going to go ahead and play this soundbite. And then I want to talk about, you know, why this is even a thing, right? Because she's so supportive of Martell, and he's the reason, him and Lexi are the reasons why she has to break down the math for us.
But his oldest daughter, she is 32. My son is 32. Lance, my oldest, Lance will be 33 this month. So they're like 6 months apart. She's 32, Lexi. She'll be 33 in December. Lance will be 33 on the 19th of June. Chris is 29. So no one married me just be saying I got pregnant. I was nowhere near pregnant. Be 29, you got 30, 31, 32. Okay, you're 32. Chris and Lexi's 3.5 years apart. Yeah. Oh,
right.
Make it make sense. The only sense out of it is when I did meet my husband, and I was very transparent about that. He was married that I did not know. He did not share that with me at the time. Of course, we did meet at a club. So everyone knows that. I want to say a few months later, I found out that he was married, but his first wife, they was not even married a year. So technically, they could have got an annulment. That's why I said I don't like to throw stones for stones.
For sure.
If you're gonna talk about something, talk about that you married him or he married you because you're the one that got pregnant.
Okay.
Not me. You and him got married because you were pregnant with a child. And y'all's marriage was what? A year? If that? And then you was divorced? It happens. But your marriage had nothing to do with it or why you're not married anymore. So I know the truth.
Right.
Most people here in Huntsville know the truth. I can't entertain the ignorance.
Right. And I just really wanted to give you a chance to kind of just speak directly to that conversation because there's been a lot of different things being said about the state of your husband's relationship when you all met. And again, this is your husband of 30 years at this point, so it's really a moot point.
Exactly.
But just to give you an opportunity to clear things up for your name, when you guys did meet, what was the state? Were him and his? You said it was basically a brand new.
They were legally separated.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I think people need to hear you say.
They were legally separated. And I told him, until I know this for sure, because I will be honest, I have no lie to tell you. When I found out we was married, I was not happy about it. I was not happy about it. She know that they were separated. He know that they were separated. She wanted to talk to me about it, and I would take a step back. So in case you and your husband want to work things out, this lady said she did not want to work things out. He did not want to work things out. They were legally separated. He was going to get the divorce. So that had nothing to do with me. And as far as me having a pregnancy, I was not pregnant at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, he came into the relationship with a child. I came into the relationship with a child, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. You guys have a beautiful.
Okay. So she was poking holes in the marriage between Chris and Cornelia, stating that they only got married because Cornelia was pregnant. We know that definitely, I'm sure we probably all know at least one couple personally that, you heard that's why they got married. It was solely because there was a pregnancy. This is nothing new. It's so ironic how things are in life. In my opinion, when it comes to conceiving and raising children, I do feel like tradition helps. Like if the two of you are in love and you want to be committed to each other, you get married, you share the expenses of the household, both of your jobs, net income contribute to that. I feel like that overall just helps the family. If two people are together and they share those expenses, then you can qualify for a mortgage a lot easier. There's just less of a struggle for the kids to experience, and then nobody has to be a single parent. And then at the same token, I feel like if two people get married solely just because there's a baby on the way, that could lead to a very toxic marriage. Someone, at least one person, could end up being resentful, so it just is such a fine line. I feel like because I think of I wouldn't want kids to grow up in poverty. I think of the challenges that single parents face. I just think that it would be beneficial for people to get married and then, welcome the children. But I would not want a marriage under false pretenses of love when it was really because there was just a baby. Now, I feel like when Nell does the math, I think she's trying to make it seem like definitely Chris did not just marry her because she was pregnant, but this year they will have been married for 30 years. That's a huge blessing. Happy early anniversary. Isn't Chris Jr. 29? I mean, it's not a big deal, but she's making it seem like definitely, I was not pregnant. But if they've been married for 30 years this year and he's 29, there may have been like a 3 month 3 month gap before a kid was conceived. But again, it's not a big deal. The reason why we're even circling this who was pregnant when Chris married him situation is because Lexi, her claims regarding Nell and trying to present her like the side chick, and then Martell disrespecting Nell to her face and to her husband about Nell being a side chick. So that's why it is even a discussion. There were people in the chat saying that Nell does not owe anyone an explanation. Oh, for sure. There's just, she's on a reality TV show, which led to her stepdaughter's interview with Giving You the Real Tea, and then Martell being a butthole and disrespecting her, who totally puts on her superhero cape for Martell every single chance that she gets. And we are closer to getting to what she had to say about him. Now, first, I want to also say in that soundbite that I just played for you, she said that they were legally separated. And she told Chris when she found out that he was married that she did not like it and she was going to give him time to take care of his business. She said, but then he did not want to reconcile and the ex-wife did not want to reconcile. That is what she says. But when it comes to Lexi and her mother's influence on Lexi's opinions, she also adds that she feels like Cornelia wanted Chris Fletcher back. So Nell, which one is it?
I do think at some point I do think her mom may have wanted to reconcile the marriage, but I do.
What makes you think that, Nell?
Well, if you over somebody and if you've gone on, you done moved on, you moved on. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to keep harping over something that
rehashing
it in this. It's for what? It's not there. If you're truly moved on, you move on. But the bashing for no reason, I don't get it. And I actually think her spouse that she has now, I want to say they've been married at least 15, maybe longer years. Like I said, I was there before him. She was doing her thing. We had Lexi a lot, and she met him, and we got introduced to him. That's why I say I don't understand all this. Like it's crazy. But even you would think you would tell Lexi should be able to see the truth. Let me say that. For a long time, for me, it was okay. She's older. She'll get older. She's young. She's a teenager right now. I meant to say. When they're 15, 16, 17, and the mom and dad not really talking. It was mostly me and her talking to each other. Him and her didn't do a lot of talking. It was always me and Lexi's mom. That's why I said we had a good relationship. Then as Lexi got older, it's like she just formed her own opinion. Yeah, I've been cursed out several times.
Oh no, okay.
Like, I don't do, like, you're not gonna just stand toe to toe and curse me out, and as you saying, you burn the house down, and what has this house done to you? I just think there's some things there that just haven't been related truthfully to her, but that's her mom.
Okay.
That's her mom, and I'm not gonna sit there and talk to anyone's daughter about them or have a fashion session.
Yeah.
Because clearly you've even told me, well, my mom has told me to bring my dog to y'all's house and let him shit in your floor.
Okay, so that was like a very loaded soundbite. Now, Nell said that years ago, she and the former wife Cornelia, they got along. She said that they would communicate regarding the children. And, she said that when Cornelia told T that she would let her kids, that Nell would let her kids go with Cornelia and her children to play. Nell said that that was true because they had a good rapport, or so she thought. But then she feels like Cornelia, has filled up Lexi's head with inaccuracies to build up this hostility. And we all know that Lexi had her issues with not receiving a vehicle. Now, Nell said that in this interview with Dustin, that she surprised Kayla with a Mercedes for her graduation. I think that that's a blessing. I have a couple of cousins, when they graduated with their bachelor's degrees, they drive a Mercedes and an Audi. When I was that age, I was not driving a luxury car yet, but to each his own. It's not like I have to pay the bill. You're also teaching them quality, especially for like young Black women. I feel like if you can teach them, okay, you promote education, they meet that educational goal, and they're working and working full time. And then they have like this luxury vehicle in their early 20s, then that'll teach them not to settle for a man that cannot come correct and also have his educational goals met and have his full time job. And he's making money so he can afford his luxury vehicle and not expect to be sponsored by a woman. So I feel like that there's definitely benefits to teaching the kids the quality products, the quality possessions. You just also want to make sure that you're promoting education and working as well. And then if they're paying that bill, then, that's even better, because now they're learning to pay a bill on time every month and the importance of that. So congratulations to Kayla for graduating. And she also wanted to clear up the dinner scene. She said that when, Lexi was not aware that Chris Jr. had gone to jail. And Lexi said, oh, wait a minute, time out. Flag on the play. I don't watch sports, so I don't know what that term that Lexi used. But Nell told her, shut up, Lexi. Nell claims that, both Lexi and Lance had been talking so much at the dinner table. She said she was telling them both to shut up, but she said that the only one that the editors showed us, the viewers, was her shut up to Lexi. That's what she said. She said she was telling both Lexi and Lance to shut up, but the only one that we saw was to Lexi. So I don't know. I guess it was almost, she was saying like, well, I was being rude to a couple of my kids, not just one who happened to be the step kid. I still kind of feel like Nell has an intense energy when she's around her kids. So I still thought I was like, oh Lord. But she claims they had both been yappy and chatty, and she just told him to shut up. But okay. Another thing that I want to point out is that she referred to Chris Fletcher paying his child support for Lexi as his dues. He paid his dues, he paid his child support, but when it was time for them to ask us for a car, Cornelia has these other kids with her husband, and we knew that it wasn't just going to be Lexi buying this car. So we had questions like, who's going to all be driving the car? They knew it just wasn't going to be Lexi. What would the insurance look like? And she kind of basically seemed like they didn't want to invest in a car for Lexi when they knew additional people would be driving it. That increases the chances of car accidents and getting tore up, and it could just be a waste of their money. So I totally get that from a financial standpoint. I don't know how well they were at explaining that to the kid at that time, Lexi. But Lexi is an adult and married now with children of her own. Maybe with time, she'll understand it better by and by. We have to see. I hope so, Lexi. Now, let's go ahead and get into the Martell foolishness. So, Dustin had the nerve to ask Nell if it was hard for her to make the decision to just just to invite Melody to her birthday party. Dustin asked Nell, was it hard for her? Oh, yeah, not inviting Martell is just like fighting in Afghanistan, okay? It was extremely difficult. But you hear the sarcasm in my voice, but let's actually listen to the caping that is in Nell's voice.
I'm true to myself. I have to be true to me. That was still hard for me because regardless of where they're at, I met them basically at the same time, husband. Yeah. And I met a beautiful couple, a striving couple, a powerful couple. And they moved on now. She has her life, he has his, and I'm sure they both should be happy. I know she says she's happy. Yeah. And we all have to accept that, and I have accepted that. But for me, I don't feel like I should have to kick someone to the curb because of their mistakes. He still needs someone. Whether it's me, my husband, I'm sure his family, what have you. Real friends don't just go away or pick sides. Or I can't shop with you no more because you're divorced from Mel. So I can't ride for you. I can't talk to you. Don't stop by the house no more. Lose my number. That's not who I am. That's just not who I am. What he does know is I could never entertain the other woman. Okay. I could never do that. Because for me, I've seen the breakup. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been there for Mel and him. I don't know this lady, but I know what I like and what I don't like. And I could not entertain him. So it's not like we're around him like that anyway. Okay. If he picked the phone up and say, hey, Nell, I need such and such, or can you or Chris do that for me? If it's not life, death threatening, then we're going to do it. Or he may stop by the daycare, just passing through. Hey, just want to say hello. How everything going? I mean, how the kids doing? I'm not going to be like, you need to leave. We ain't talking to you. No, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, that was hard for me to pick a side because he's always said pick a side. Now I'm feeling like Mel feels like we should pick a side because I had to pick a side. Who am I going to invite? Mel or Martell? And being that I do speak to Mel more, I talk to her more. It didn't hurt me. It bothered me that I had to tell him that he couldn't come, but I had to understand why they could not be in the same setting. Why they couldn't be in the room together. It would have caused friction. It probably would have caused my birthday party to go left outside of it going left. So I do get it, and it's like, whoa, this is serious.
Oh my gosh, Nell. So I have a question for Nell. I wonder, is she watching the episodes? Is she like just filming and she doesn't watch what us viewers see? Because if she watches the episodes, Martell shaded the hell out of you. He was ageist towards you. He said he didn't want to go to no 60-year-old's birthday party anyway. He called you a side chick to your face, to your husband. Is she like forgetting about the disrespect? And also, when you are enabling someone, that is not support. You are not helping them get any better. Support would be, you know what, you need to find another place to live. This is coming from Chris Fletcher's perspective. I have a buyer for this home. This home is under contract. With each day that you do not move out of here, we do not close on time, and the seller ends up owing the buyer, rent. But that doesn't really come into play until you actually close on the home. So I'm guessing they obviously never tried to go into process until Martell had his tail out of the home. But it would have been a matter of, he would have to be evicted after you tell him that the home is under contract. Okay, like you have 30 days or you have 45 days to find a place and move. And then supporting him would be texting him properties that you know that he can afford, that's in his budget, so that he can go. Or ask him, does he need a ride to go check out the house? That is support. But just enabling him, oh, a black man, African American community, I don't like seeing a black man get arrested. Stuff like that is just stupid. He already has Marlene enabling him. And then you have Nell and Chris Fletcher. Nobody is doing Martell any favors. He doesn't get any tough love from anywhere, any direction. So that is not support. And I am just so shocked over it being so hard to choose who to invite. When he threatened Revenge P against his ex-wife. So to me, he doesn't deserve to party with you, Nell. He doesn't deserve to get to eat whatever food you may have paid a caterer for, or if you even paid for the drinks, if it was not a cash bar. He don't deserve none of that. He don't deserve to be able to do the two-step to the sounds of the DJ that you paid for. He does not deserve that. But Melody Cherie does. She was minding her business when he sent her that bogus text with the image, with the threat. So you did the right thing. You invited the right person to your birthday party. But I don't see why it was hard. It should have been a breeze. But that is what I feel like in the community overall. Nell Fletcher definitely ain't the only one where people just go up for folks. And I'm like, that's why they will never change, because they know that the community will stick by their side regardless of the BS that they do to people, due to the mothers of their children. But what do you all think about Nell saying that it was so hard for her to not invite Martell to her birthday party? What do you think about the rewarding of Kayla with the Mercedes after graduating? And do you think that Cornelia wanted Chris back? I definitely think that she wanted him back. And hopefully Nell will just get a grip on things at some point. And I think she should go back and actually watch the episodes, because she comments as if she does not know how Martell disrespects her. It's like super weird. And I didn't even bother grabbing the soundbite, but you know, Dustin asked Nell about, being one of the more seasoned people in the cast. And she said that, people tell her that she looks younger than her age. She's been told she looks like she's in her 30s. And she said that if she wears a wig in a certain like up ponytail, she's even gotten her 20s. And she says to Dustin, like, "Psh, I know I don't look like I'm in my 20s." And I felt like she was waiting on Dustin to affirm and say, "Oh no, you do now. You look like a 29." I would have thought that. I felt like she was waiting on him to affirm that for her, and he did not. But yeah, I didn't even because see, like I didn't even want to grab the soundbite and have to give commentary on it because I don't want to seem like a butthole. But yeah, she did throw that in there as well. But I don't feel like I've never subscribed to like, oh, I wonder what is her age and she looks good to be this, to be that. I think Nell is very attractive. I've said that on other videos. I feel like Nell and Chris are a very beautiful couple, to people who have found each other very physically attractive. But yeah, who cares? Age, it literally ain't nothing but a number. Just, drink your water, eat your fruit, get your rest. And that's what I'm about to do. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. I hope you all had a fantastic Saturday. We still get another day as part of the weekend. Oh, it's going to be so great. Sleeping in, going to grab some groceries. I could have done that today. I just did not. But yeah, I will talk with you all very soon. Bye.